everybody, Mr. JK here. So yeah, welcome back. So change of plans. CJ Chance video is gonna have to wait because yeah, that sucker's pretty goddamn long to react to. Second thing, another thing I want to kind of get out of the way because I see a few comments in my last video on the Fat Files Arizona Tea video. Always, first and foremost, always put the original creators channel or indoor original video in your descriptions. Always do that. It's to give credit to where it comes from. That's what you should always do when it comes to reaction content. Give credit. I cannot stress this enough. Give credit to the original users. What I'm trying to say here is that no matter what you're doing, if you're creating reaction content, make sure you give credit back to the user. Always give credit to the original poster. Always. Secondly, don't do a me here and not put leave a shout out to that original video or leave a thing saying that you did. At least do your due diligence and put the thing in the description. Well, duh. Always remember to do that. Secondly. Okay, so there's 3 rules to this, or at least 3 rules I follow, and if you're making reaction content, you should follow as well. 1, always give credit back to the original user. 2, ask for permission if possible. If not, at least make your due diligence and do number 2. And 3, please try not to be lazy with your reaction content. Basically, I'm the bottom of the barrel when it comes to reaction content. Just content in general. Anyways, that's the end of my little TED Talk rant there. I'm gonna, again, can't stress this enough, at least make it verbal too, to say, to shout the channel to as well. Like, for example, this is Nick's second channel, The Fat Files. I will leave a link to the video I'm about to react to that leads you to his channel. Always check out his channel. He's an awesome dude. He makes great content. If I'm doing reaction content, I am always gonna give credit back to the original content creator. Always. That's never gonna change. Ever. Thank you for listening to my unhinged TED Talk. So, without further ado, let's get into the video.
Oh, finally!
Here it is. Here's what we're reacting to. The government helps by destroying 700,000 working cars. Dollar. Cash for clunkers. Don't know what it is. Sounds interesting. Is an interesting topic. Let's get into it.
Okay, this is becoming a pattern at this point. Every single time I find a truck that I want, it's borderline impossible to get, and after 5 seconds of research, I find out that the United States government is directly responsible. Today,
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, me neither.
we're talking about the Cars Act, aka Cash for Clunkers. Okay, I'm already upset, so here's how we got here. I originally wanted a Toyota Champs, like this $15,000 super cheap Toyota truck.
Ooh, that's kind of small. Yikes.
That you can buy and just go do truck stuff with, okay? It's very cheap. It does what it's supposed to do. It's what I wanted. So I hopped on Google.
Shucks, buddy. Dude, I wish I had did my due diligence and last year started working on getting my driver's license so I can get a car.
You stupid.
Just, yeah. So, notice how I'm talking about the topic here? Okay, I'm still going on. You need to stop it. Stop it. Get to the video.
And was like, hey, when are these going to get released in America? Because I'm going to buy one. Oh, turns out they're not getting released in America. Why?
Like, notice how I'm engaging with the content by talking about me myself working on, thinking about getting on.
Have you ever had a dream that you had?
Working on trying to get a car?
Not the same reason I can't get the Toyota Hilux, the other truck that I've wanted literally forever. And it's because in the 1960s, Germany was buying too much American poultry, so they put a tariff on American chickens.
What did he say?
To which the American president, Lyndon B. Johnson, got upset, so he retaliated by putting a tariff on small cargo vehicles, aka small trucks. This is referred to as the chicken tax. I did a whole
The chicken tax? The chicken tax.
Duh.
Are you kidding me?
No.
video on it. Okay, but the abbreviated version is I don't get to buy the truck I want because of Lyndon B. Johnson and chickens 80 years ago. So I'm like, okay, you know what? It's fine. There's other trucks in the world. I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to pick another cool truck to me. I'll just get an older American truck that's already here. It'll be cheap. It'll be great. And right away, I knew exactly what truck I wanted. I wanted the truck that was new when I was a kid, when I was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, because that truck was nice. New when I was a kid. So it's going to be new to me for the rest of my life. It's just going to feel that way regardless of how old it gets. And that truck to me is a 4th gen GMC, specifically the Chevy version, the K1500.
Delete me.
Nice trench gun.
Whatever.
Thank you.
Oh, did you want this watch?
Yeah, I did actually.
Okay. I don't know what it is, but whatever.
Nice watch.
Thanks, love you.
Whatever.
This video is brought to you by Delete Me. Super straightforward business. You give them money, they turn around and they make sure the data brokers on the internet are not selling your personal information. Simply put, pretty much anytime you go on the internet and you fill out your personal information and you check that little box that says, I agree to the terms of service, those terms more than likely mean that they're collecting your personal data. They turn around and they sell that data to data brokers, and then the data brokers sell it to whoever. The good news is these data brokers are legally required to get rid of your information and stop selling it if you ask them to. The hard part is figuring out which data brokers have your info and then filling out all the paperwork to get them to stop selling it. And that's where Delete Me comes in. Once you're using their service, they go through, they check all the data brokers for your personal information, and if they have it, they go ahead and they fill out all the paperwork to have that information taken down automatically. After that, they continue to keep checking and rechecking all these data brokers in case they somehow acquire your information again and start selling it again, and make sure that doesn't happen. So if privacy sounds pretty cool
I would love to get this.
to you, go ahead and check out Delete Me. I'll have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. Sorry, anyways, I started looking for a K1500, borderline impossible to find one in good condition. Okay, I finally track one down. It's at a car dealership. It's mint. It's got like 25,000 miles. It's perfect. It's spotless. I want it. Problem, it's like almost $30,000 for a 1998 K1500. So I call the dealership and I'm like, the fuck?
I need to get off my phone.
Is it like a drag car? Does it have a different engine in it? What the fuck is going on with this truck? Like, no, it's completely stock K1500, 25,000 miles, perfect condition. We want a ton of money for it. And I'm like, why? And the owner of the dealership is like, well, the government crushed all of them, so you're never going to find this truck in good condition. Why? So naturally, I did what I always do. I went home.
I can't believe they like do that, like crush trucks. What the fuck? Like perfectly good trucks might probably, I'm assuming. I'm not a truck guy.
Started looking into it, went down the rabbit hole. Here's what happened. It all started in 2008 when the American
the fucking prices. The what is it? I forgot if it had something to do with the stock market crashing, or it's like it was the subprime mortgage crisis. How did I forget what the fuck it was named? It's the like 2008 crash, effectively.
American housing market crashed. How did the housing market crash? Well, in the years leading up to this, the American government decided, hey, owning a home is part of the American dream. More people should own homes. You know what we should do? We should go put a bunch of pressure on US banks to give loans to people that they know can't afford homes and just do it anyways. This is called a subprime mortgage, and the banks were giving out a ton of them for the years leading up to 2008. 2008 rolls around, all the people that bought houses they couldn't afford get foreclosed on, ruins the entire housing market, the entire US economy crashes. Wow! And when the economy crashes, people don't have a lot of extra money. And when people don't have a lot of extra money, guess what they're not doing? Buying brand new cars. But it's okay. We live in a capitalist society. And what happens when supply remains the same and demand goes down? The prices also go down. The market will regulate and fix itself, right?
Ooh, baby, are you ever ring-a-ding wrong?
No, because the government's going to step in and they're going to help.
Okay.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
The cheese video, if the cheese video was not an indicator, the government helping, the government helping always never works out. Like, case in point, our current situation right now, it's like inflation up the roof.
From the government, and I'm here to help.
So the United States government, in its infinite wisdom, comes out with the CARS Act, aka Cash for Clunkers, and they're going to try to prop up the automotive industry as a way to stimulate the economy. And then, as a little side quest, they're also going to try to save the environment at the same time.
Oh no, stop trying!
Why are you the way that you are?
So the government allocates $3 billion towards this program, and that $3 billion is going to be spent overpaying for people's used cars. So how this works is anybody that's going to buy a new car, like a Prius or a Camry or a Civic, can trade in their old car, and the government is going to be willing to subsidize paying you between $3,500 and $4,500, even if that's way more than your car is actually worth. The only stipulations are the car has to be running, it has to be a good, reliable vehicle, it has to get 18 miles to the gallon or less, and it has to be registered to you for at least a year.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So basically, the government is only interested in buying perfectly good used cars in running condition. And $3 billion divided by somewhere between 3,500 and 4,500 per car ends up being about 700,000 cars that the United States government gets their hands on, which raises the question, what is the United States government gonna do with 700,000 perfectly good running cars?
Blow it the f*** up!
Okay.
Yeah! He's the TF2 one. I mean, not TF2, fucking Team 4-star video. Let's go.
I mean, I'm not very bright, I'm just...
Let's blow up some cars!
Kaboom! Yes, we go. Kaboom.
Spitball, but here's what I would do. I would maybe auction off the 700,000 cars so that 700,000 Americans could get a good deal on a running, reliable vehicle so they can make it to work and participate in the economy to help prop up the economy that the US government just crashed. But we got to remember the big picture here, right? Because the US government also is trying to save the environment, and these 700,000 cars get less than 18 miles per gallon, so there's only one thing we can do. We got to fucking destroy them. No! Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
In their infinite fucking wisdom, we're gonna destroy the cars. I know I kind of contradict myself by saying let's go, but it's like it's YOLO. It's YOLO. It's whatever.
What? What?
Though it's it is dumb. I will admit that it is completely dumb.
The second your car gets traded into a dealership, that dealership is legally required to drain all the oil out of the engine, pour a specialty chemical inside of it, put it in park, and have a mechanic hold the gas pedal down until that specialty chemical turns into glass in the engine and blows up the entire thing. And then they're gonna crush it and turn it into garbage. You know, as one last fuck you to the environment right before we save it.
It knows how dumb it is.
Shut the f*** up, alright?
Okay, I'm just gonna level with you. I'm like in awe at this point at how horrible this idea was. There's so many layers of stupidity compounded within itself.
You didn't have to cut me off. This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently. That's okay. Things are gonna be okay.
I don't even know how to continue the video. The government is like King Midas, but instead of everything they touch turning to gold, it just turns to shit. So I guess we'll just
turns to shit.
Let's make sure that we're all on the same page at this point, okay? In 2008, the United States government is responsible for crashing the US economy, and in 2009, in order to fix it, they said, hey, you know what we should do? Let's take $3 billion that we've extracted from the people whose lives are already suffering.
Our taxpayer dollars and just flush it down the drain.
We're going to take that $3 billion and we're going to use it to have a fucking used car genocide where we destroy 700,000 perfectly operational vehicles. And you're never going to guess which vehicle cracked the top 10 for the most crushed by the US government. That's right, the Chevy K1500. You know what? Actually, it's...
I was like, I would love to know the story behind the Chevy.
Fine. I'm sure this was well worth it, and I'm sure that we saved the environment. Let's just go ahead and check the stats. According to the University of Michigan, the average miles per gallon of the average American vehicle went up a total of 0.7 miles per gallon. Okay, that's not a lot. How much did it actually save the environment, right? I mean, that's what actually matters. How much CO2 did we prevent from going into the atmosphere, right? Okay. The CARS program prevented 4.4 million metric tons of CO2 from entering the atmosphere. That's a big fucking number. That's probably a good thing, right? That accounts for approximately 0.4% of US emissions.
You lost. I didn't lose. I merely failed to win.
You know what? Okay, look, I'm not.
I don't blame you. If I was in your position, I absolutely would be that dumbfounded and angry too. It effectively amounted to nothing.
Not a super intelligent guy. I'm wearing a camouflage hat and a tank top and I live in a cornfield, okay? But hear me out. I feel like every vehicle manufactured has what I'm going to describe as a fossil fuel overhead, okay? Because the manufacturing plant where the car is made, it's got to have power. You get that by burning coal and other fossil fuels, right? So some of it goes there. Then all the workers have to drive.
Yeah, I know about this because story time with JK. Back then, it was two things. I forgot. I believe I was still in middle school, and we had like a trip to the Ford factory, and they had this like 4D room where we could see how cars were being made and shit by the Henry Ford factory. And I live in Michigan, so Detroit, so matter of fact down that way. So yeah. Yeah, so I know something about cars, at least. Specifically the Ford, because I know we've been in that Ford factory. It was a field trip, whatever. Not part of the point, but yeah, just know it, yeah.
Their cars to the manufacturing plant.
Fossil fuels I didn't learn about until got into high school, and Miss Moore was talking about it.
To be able to build it, and their cars burn fossil fuels. And then if the manufacturing plant is, I don't know, in Japan, where they manufacture the Prius, the Civic, and the Camry, which were the most sold cars under the Cash for Clunkers program, plant is, I don't know, have to drive their cars to the manufacturing plant to be able to build it, and their cars burn fossil fuels. And then if the manufacturing plant is, I don't know, in Japan, where they manufacture the Prius, the Civic, and the Camry, which were the most sold cars under the Cash for Clunkers program, you gotta ship the car across the fucking ocean using fossil fuels to get it here.
Oh my god.
Okay, maybe destroying all those cars prematurely before you squeezed all the life out of them wasn't worth the 0.4% you saved on emissions overall.
Yeah, it really wasn't. It really wasn't.
Oh yeah, well at least
hello, Mr. Keyboard Warrior.
The United States government propped up the auto industry, because without those sales, they probably would have had to lay off a bunch of American auto workers. But did you not just listen to what I just said? The top 3 cars sold during the Cash for Clunkers program were the Honda Civic, the Toyota Prius, and the Toyota Camry, okay? Most of those are made over.
Yeah, those are Japan-made cars, you idiot.
Stupid idiot. Over in Japan, there's a couple that are made here in America, depending on the trim model. Overall, across the entire program, only 44% of the cars purchased under Cash for Clunkers were actually made in America. So essentially what you've done is take $3 billion from the American taxpayers and give it to foreign auto manufacturers. Secondly, in the months following the Cash for Clunkers program, there were way less car sales than there should have been according to the previous year's data, meaning Cash for Clunkers didn't increase the number of car sales, it just moved them from one month to another. So since there weren't actually any more cars sold during Cash for Clunkers, that means that the US is now down 700,000 cars, right? And what happens when supply lowers and demand remains the same? That's right, prices go up.
And there's no money in here!
The price of a used car on average went up about $2,000 after Cash for Clunkers.
This is the worst!
So essentially the United States government has taken $3 billion, given it to foreign auto manufacturers so that they can subsidize rich people buying new Priuses while poor people have to.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
The United States government, ladies and gentlemen. The United States government.
Pay $2,000 more for their used car. Fucking great job. Way to go. But wait, it gets even worse, because a lot of the people that bought new cars during Cash for Clunkers shouldn't have really bought new cars. They were just overly incentivized to do it because the government was subsidizing it, right? Where the fuck are my notes?
Oh boy.
According to CNW research, buyers that bought during Cash for Clunkers experienced 2 times the normal repossession rate and 5 times the amount of buyer's remorse.
Oh, come on! It's like a big, fat, angry slob spending money it doesn't have on crap it doesn't need.
Yeah, that's the right meme for this.
Me want more pointless social programs. Yummy, yummy, yum.
Okay, I'm calm. Just so we're all on the same page. In the years leading up to the housing market crash, the United States government put pressure on banks to sell homes to people that couldn't afford homes. And in 2008, they all got foreclosed on, AKA they got repossessed. And then it crashed the entire economy. And like 6 months later, the United States government's like, brain blast, I know how to fix this. Brain blast! Guys, we're gonna go to car dealerships and we're gonna put pressure on them. We're gonna incentivize.
In summary,
we're gonna subsidize it, whatever words you want to use. We're gonna convince people that can't afford new cars to buy new cars, and then they're all gonna get repossessed. Okay, it's brilliant. I've taken a math class. Two of the same thing cancel each other out. It's gonna get us out of this mess.
No.
So in conclusion, did Cash for Clunkers save the environment? No, not really.
Not at all. Not in a million years.
Barely made a noticeable dent, and if anything, it probably hurt it more by destroying all the vehicles. But it did at least save a bunch of American jobs. Granted, it saved more Japanese jobs than it did American jobs. But hey, life is all about the silver linings, right? We did, at a minimum, get to keep the poor people in check because we got to take their money in taxes and then use those taxes to force them
Boo! You stink!
to pay $2,000 more for a used car.
Words cannot express just how disappointed I am.
Which back in 2009 was closer to like $3,500, but you know, whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna go keep looking for a truck. Thanks for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some
good luck, man.
Merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
See you later, man.
I legitimately can't even tell anymore if politicians are stupid or evil. It's probably both.
Yeah, I was like, it's probably it's both. It's always both.